My name is Zoe McMahon. I'm a senior and I go to Pompano Beach High School.
Nice. So, in the beginning of your SAT journey, right? What happened that made you realize that you needed our service?
I realized that what I was doing wasn't really helping me and that I was forgetting a lot of the things that I've done over the course. I wasn't retaining anything. When I first was studying for the SAT, like when I took my first SAT ever, I was doing the Khan Academy course. And when I was doing that, I wasn't retaining anything that I did because it would like, for example, it would give me a lesson and I would practice for it, but then as days went on, I never got to see those type of questions ever again. So I would forget like everything that I had learned.
That makes sense.
And then I would like on the day of the SAT, I would rack my brain like, oh, like I remember learning something about this question, but I have no idea what it is anymore.
Right. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. At that time, so you were studying using Khan, right?
Yes.
Um, what math class were you in at the time?
I want to say pre-calculus.
It was last year.
Yeah. I
Pre-
believe it's pre-calculus. Yeah.
And how are you doing in that? Like I guess, yeah. How were you doing in pre-calc?
I was good. I like math, so
So
I
would you say that math is like your strong suit?
I more than others. Yes.
Got you. Um, so I guess at the time when you took that test and you had been doing Khan Academy and math is your strong suit, were you surprised at the score you got?
I was kind of almost a little disappointed because I recognized almost all of the things on the SAT. It's just like I would forget because geometry was so long ago. Algebra was even longer, like in middle school for me. So I would just like I recognized it. That's pretty much as far as I got.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, the test has literally no, like literally almost no pre-cal or cal,
Yeah,
so
nothing at all that I had just learned.
it's crazy. Um, and okay, so then you heard about us, and I know this already from Chloe, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you heard about us, and then I'm assuming, I mean, she sold it to you pretty quick. Or
Yeah, her and her mom.
did you have any hesitations about taking the course at all, or not really?
I was scared on for like I was scared of being embarrassed for getting questions wrong. And like I was scared I wasn't gonna participate because I didn't really participate like COVID year during class. So I was scared it was just gonna be the same thing and I wasn't gonna learn just as the COVID classrooms were.
But so what was different about it then? I guess compared to COVID, that kind of changed that, and you know,
I was comfortable there. It was a smaller environment and with people more that had more like my abilities. Not like abilities, but like we were on the same level-ish. And I was comfortable to get it wrong and I was comfortable to ask for help and to speak out as I wasn't in COVID. Like I would just be muted the whole time.
why do you think that?
The teachers, they were very outgoing. The teachers that I had were very outgoing and they made the class more fun. It wasn't always about math, like they incorporated other things into it. And of course, when I got into the math, they taught math, but they made it more fun and more like I was able to do more. Sit down for 4 hours. It was better.
Well, on that note, I mean, what? So if somebody asked about the prep course, like, what should they know?
They should know that for me personally, it was nothing like COVID. I actually learned, and I still use everything that I learned in your course in my math classes, even now, senior year. Like, I still use those techniques and I see it all the time, like over and over, and I still use it. And also, you have to be 100% committed and you have to 100% want to get a good score in the SAT. Otherwise, if you don't really want it, there's no point in taking it. Like you have to want it. You have to be committed to doing so.
What? Why do you say that? Is it a lot of workload? Heavy workload?
It is a heavy workload sometimes, especially sometimes if you have a job or something. Um, yeah, it is a heavy workload and it can be challenging sometimes, especially the super challenging questions packets, but yeah.
How did you manage the workload? Because you did it, you did all your work.
Um, I would just kind of pick a day. For me, I use my agenda and I would just pick a day and a time where I would sit down for this many hours and do it so that I would be free, pretty much.
So your strategy was less spreading it out, or and more like you would have. Well, and actually, we got to talk about this in two different scenarios, right? Because you did take the course a second time, right?
Mhm.
The first time was during school.
Yes, the first time was during school and then the second time was summer.
Okay. Did your strategy differ?
Yeah. Yeah, very. So for school, I would spread it out during the days because sometimes some days I would have like a lot of homework from school and I just wasn't able to do the piece of pie learning. But like for summer, I could pick a day and I could sit down and I can do it. But for at school, I would just spread it out throughout the week.
You also in summer you do all the homework in a day.
Not in a day, in a few days. But I
Nice. Yeah.
that's just the way I prefer it because if I stop, I'll never want to go back. So just
Yeah,
sit
yeah. No,
down and
that
do
that
it.
I feel you on that. It's if when you're in it, like just finish.
Yeah,
Just go.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. And okay, I mean, aside from that, aside from how you manage your workload from school versus summer, workload wise, I guess, which one did you prefer?
I definitely preferred summer because I was able to purely focus on math. While in school, I had to like focus on different like tests I had to take, different quizzes. But like during summer, I was able to sit down, focus, and easily just get it done, understand it, I was able to put a lot of effort into it.
Right. It's like even mental
Yeah,
effort.
exactly.
And how do you find the experience to be just different? I know you've already kind of touched upon that in every question you've answered here, but like, I guess more expound on that a little bit on like how the second time you took it was different than the first time.
The second time I took it, I noticed that I would get the questions. I already knew it, but I would get even harder ones. And for me, I like the challenge, so I like learning the more challenging ones. And so the second one, I thought it was better for me to learn the more challenging ones and to see like the videos that I wasn't able to see in the beginning, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like it was important though for you to first build up to that, or
Yeah.
maybe you would have just wanted to go straight into those?
No, I definitely appreciated the build up because you would kind of mention different things that you had mentioned in the earlier videos. And I wouldn't have been able to been that high if I didn't have that base level.
That makes sense. Awesome. What was the ultimately the result that we helped you get?
So my first math SAT score was a 580, and then I ended with a 740.
Nice. That's 140. No, I'm bad at math. That's
Oh,
140.
you do
It
as
is.
well.
No, 160.
Yeah.
I'm bad. I'm terrible. On the
You did
spot, I'm here bringing. I'm taking out my calculator. Everyone's like, "Is this guy for real right now?" No, it is. It is. It is. Because yes,
Okay.
580, 740 is 160. I got you.
Okay, I trust you.
100.60 to 680, then another 20 to 700, and then another 40 to 740. Guys, my mental math beast. That's how I do it, by the way. I break it up into parts. Um, we can cut that out, man. No, okay. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what has this result meant for you? What has it enabled you to do?
Um, as mentioned before, my math classes have become abundantly easier, and it allowed me to get Fulbright futures, and it allowed me to feel much more confident in applying to different schools and maybe even like some higher schools. Because if I didn't have a higher SAT score, or if I had my previous SAT score, I don't think I would have applied to half the schools that I did apply to. And it caused me much less stress during my senior year. Like, I saw a lot of my friends were rushing. They previously took the November one without studying or really anything at all, and they were stressing a lot, and I was already done, so it felt nice.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. I mean, yeah, now you just got to finish the year off, and I mean, hopefully you'll hear back from school soon, or I guess in a few months, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Ah, don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Yeah, keep me posted on when that happens, regardless of what happens. Deal.
Okay, okay, I'll text.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna follow up when I already know when schools come out, so you can't hide. So
Okay,
we'll talk later.
okay.
All right, bye.
Bye, thank you.